We live. Go ahead, bro.
Loaded.
We live.
Hey guys. Hey, good
You can't
people.
not have your face in there. You gotta
We're
have your face
so
in
excited for
Seven
today.
cameras here. We got cameras at every angle today.
there. We got angles.
We
We're
got
excited for
angles.
another show. You know what today is? It's
Yeah.
Thursday.
It's
Real
the
anniversary. It's the real
Well,
anniversary, y'all.
Marcus Kidd, what's up,
Real
baby?
anniversary. Yeah, we so
Marcus Kidd.
excited.
I grew up with Marcus Kidd. He good people.
Yeah.
One of the most underrated artists in the area.
Y'all, so as you can see,
I'm their guest today.
excuse me, sir. Let me announce.
You take it forever.
Let me announce. Big Husky is our guest for today.
Yes, I'm I'm their guest today. I'm their guest.
Yes,
How y'all doing? Y'all good?
We good.
Hey,
We
man.
good, man. I'm real good.
That's good. Y'all have a great show.
Trying to get this thing going.
Right.
You know, I try to produce well, but y'all do wonders.
Amen.
Oh,
Glory to the
marvelous.
Most High.
Shout out to
Somebody's
y'all.
having a little bit of a technical difficulty.
That's not my fault. I mean,
So you're not connected to the Wi-Fi.
She's not connected to the Wi-Fi. That's why.
I never had to pay.
Oh, she's not on. Oh, she's not on. She's on the Wi-Fi. She's not on the Wi-Fi.
Right. So, yeah.
Love you, Brie.
All right, Bray. What we doing? How we doing?
I
This?
mean, this is all about you, brother.
Right,
I mean,
so
you're
we
sharing
gonna-
your story, your testimony. What are we going to be
Yeah.
talking about today?
I want to. There's a couple of things I'll talk about. One of the things I want to talk about is anger management.
I was hoping you would talk about that.
Cause that's the thing people hit my inbox with the most right now. What's good, Andre? Elder Andre Brooks. That's one thing they hit me in my inbox a lot about now. Uh, Depression and anger management. A lot of people don't are not talking about their anger management. What's up, Jonica? And so it's crazy. When I started going to anger management class, man, I had so much fun because I learned so much. I learned a lot. Y'all, we are live on Last Remnant TV on YouTube. Y'all can check that out. But the greatest thing I've learned in anger management class, I think that every week I get something from it. Um, and so when I'm in there, hey everybody, when I'm in anger management class, I probably am more free than ever.
Okay, so you're taking the classes. What
What leads
what
up to this
leads
class?
up to you
We
taking
gotta
these
start from the
classes?
beginning, baby.
You know how we do. You sit on the
Yes.
side of the board. We start from the beginning.
The
Well,
beginning.
it was time. It was time to deal with me. It was time to deal with me and my things. I think the one thing that us as adults we don't pay attention to is the fact that um, we can have it all together as far as being a great singer.
Mm-hmm.
We can have it all together as far as being a great preacher. But a lot of us don't deal with us.
True.
We don't want to deal with us. We don't want to talk about us being wrong. Like, I mean, we make 8,000 statuses, and all the 8,000 statuses are about other people. Baby daddy did me wrong. Uh, you know, that chick, she won't let me see my kid. Church has hurt me. But at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff we do, a lot of the stuff, you can't change what happened to you, but you can change how you respond to it.
That's right.
So the question is, what happened to you?
Whoa, child.
Right.
we preaching. We
I
want
went-
the story.
I'm getting to it. I went. Uh, I would love to tell people that I haven't done anything wrong, but that would be a lie. So when I was younger,
all of us would be alive.
I had uh, I was a bad boy. Like I was the epitome of not doing right. Like literally. I was always in the mischief, always doing something sneaky. Um, and then of course, PK, my mom and them, they are all ministers. My dad's side, not so much. They might not be in the holiness. They're not in the holiness like we are. So you kind of learn uh, two different ways of living,
Mhm.
all in the same way. Because I don't want people to think my father was not there. He didn't run away. We came from Pennsylvania to Texas. That's a 22-hour trip. So we came from Pennsylvania to Texas, and it was it to some it could be catastrophic. To me, it's bad because you want your dad there.
Right.
Um, Everything wasn't gravy. We experienced abuse um,
At the hands of.
at the hands of. I mean, let me say it like this, because a lot of times when you treat your kids sometimes how your parents treat you,
Correct.
or you use methods they use.
Hmm.
So yes, we had to switch the extension cord, and today by today's standards, that's abuse.
Correct.
By our standards, we was just living. We was
That's
just
a
growing up,
regular
right?
whooping.
That was a whooping.
I mean, but there were instances of abuse. Probably the most abusive person to us was my mom's ex-husband, Gregory. He was like, I watched him kick my mom down steps. Like you know, I watched him treat us like we were second class citizens. And when you black and they already treat you like you're second class citizen, you know. Um, so I watched that. I watched that abuse. Grew up angry, grew up resentful. Then I moved with my grandfather and my grandmother, Benny and Nene Mo, and and I did not know how to adjust because grandma only with me with a switch. That's it, and I had to go pick it.
Yeah.
So y'all know
Yeah.
we was not picking the best switch.
Of
We
course
was
not.
trying to pick the littlest switch, and then she would go pick it. But she would whip us with a switch. But grandma, when she whipped us, well, when she whipped me, it never got the legs. Now, if she got the legs, it's because your butt was covered. But usually she got the butt. That was it. Um, but I ran away. I rebelled there. They sent me to my father. Uh, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I probably did more terrible stuff than anything because that's where I learned a lot of stuff before I moved back here to Texas. Harrisburg, because my dad was one of them. I'm a boy,
Mhm.
so it was you can go where you want, be back by 12. My sister was
No
4 years,
questions asked.
no questions asked. My sister was 4 years older than me. She had a curfew of 10. My curfew was 12. Her curfew was 10. I was the boy. I
Yeah.
could run the streets. Like I literally could run the streets.
So your oats.
Yeah. So my oats, be a hoe, and I did all that fervently. Um, and at 12, living with my dad, the guy from the Boys and Girls Club, I never forget. I was molested and raped. The guy from the Boys and Girls Club, and then the chick that worked at the library.
So wait a minute. So
Right.
I got
You
you.
gonna
I'm
skip over
gonna
it?
bring it all together
But
because it
gonna
all
skip
happened at the
over
same
it.
time. Like
So-
literally, it all
but-
happened at the same time.
one dude,
Yeah,
and then a
and then
chick at the library.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
go ahead.
We right. It was crazy because we were at the Boys and Girls Club. The dude was just really nice. He was, thought nothing of it. He said, "Hey, we having a party with the kids. Can they stay tonight?" Dad thinking there's gonna be other kids there. Cool. Says, won't say nothing. I get to the house. He lived in some apartments. So we go out there that night. I go to sleep. I done took my shower. I done met his mother. I go to sleep. I wake up to the most excruciating pain ever. Um, this is probably something I've never told. And so uh, he told me, he said, "I love you." He used to always talk about me being light and pink. So a lot of times when people call me light bright, I be wanting to punch them in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten delivered thus far
It's
as I've gotten
associated with
older.
that.
Yeah, it's associated with that. So a lot of them, like when people call me light bright or pinky or something, sometimes that'll trigger remembering what he called me. So for years, I would, when people said they loved me, I'd get them first. But I'm gonna get to that in a second. So the lady that was at the library, she was 18.
And you're 12.
I was 12. She's 18. But see, the thing is, I've always had a good vocabulary. I always knew how to talk. I always watched the news. I always knew how to talk to older people. And so I was talking to the girl at the library, and I really had her believing that I could do whatever I want, and I kind of could, but I had her believing that I had already had sex before. You know, she taught me things, and she opened the door to things that I thought, shoot, that should have been when I really should have lost my virginity later on. But when it's an 18-year-old woman, and I'm talking about she fine, all that. She wore glasses.
How old did she think you were?
She thought I was 14, which wasn't no better.
It still don't make it right.
Don't make it- don't
Still
make it
it no better.
She thought I was 14, but she wore glasses, and I always love women that wear glasses. Like, that's a thing for me. And so, you know, she was it. Like, she was a librarian. I always loved to read, so she was winning with me. And so
all the check boxes.
all the check boxes. Like, I'm thinking this is okay because it's a woman, it's not a man. So I'm thinking it's okay. I'm like, in 6 months, we 6 months strong.
You and this lady, you and the woman.
Yep, me and the lady. But I'm thinking we good. Like, it's a lady. Like, I'm about to show her, you know. And literally, it was a life-changing experience because I began to resent everyone else. Like, why didn't y'all save me?
Even though you were putting yourself, except for the one incident with this lady, you put yourself out there.
I mean, what dude wouldn't? Like,
at any point did she realize that you were younger than what you said that you were?
Well, she knew I was younger than what I said I was. After a couple of days, but she's the one who broke it off because she finally was like, "This ain't right." It's okay, cool. Heart was broken, you know. I'm a dude, so like, she done showed me the ropes, and I'm like, so how we gonna replace this? So I began to act out more. My dad sent me back down to Texas, back here to Arlington. As a matter of fact, Arlington, Texas is probably where I did my most damage. Because a lot of people love to tell you the story where they didn't do anybody wrong. I did a lot of people wrong. Trying to get rid of issues. But I was doing people wrong. Like, if you told me you love me, I tried to get you first.
Hurt you first.
Yeah, I was trying to hurt you first. It was that part. I was going to hurt you first, and I didn't care what you thought about me. Like, I didn't care. Like, I don't like you. You're psycho. Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
So after the situation with the guy,
Mm-hmm.
did you begin to become more promiscuous with women to prove that you weren't what he tried to make you out to be, or was there a struggle there? Because I know some guys, when they have that, there's a pull to that side, but you want to go this way so you don't prove that you're this way, or there's more of a pull to the other side.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, it probably brought the whole hoe out of me.
Just awakened the whole
the entire hoe in me. So, like, I was sleeping with chicks, like, bam, like,
and this was at 12.
At 12.
12. I'm talking about
So the door.
every chick that I'm trying to get with, I'm trying to hit immediately. Like, I wasn't trying to be in a relationship. And for the longest, I had a homeboy, Lavelle Stevens. We used to have an apartment together, and I'll never forget. We were going to Taco Bell for something, and this chick paged me, and she asked me for something. And my motto was, I ain't giving these hoes nothing. And nothing was not the word I used. That was not the word
poop emoji.
That part. but I had such an attitude of screw everybody. Like at that point, at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I was definitely on a mission to die. How can I die and not kill myself personally? How can I die? Like, everything I did had something to do with I'm trying to go.
Like, how does that work?
Well, like, I didn't have no caring for life. So, like, whatever happened to me, I didn't care. If it happened, it happened. And, like, I messed up a lot of relationships like with my mother, my father, my sisters, aunts and uncles. People who love you, who take you in.
Right, right, right.
And so I get here. I'm grown now. I'm 18. My daughter's due in July. Me and her mother going at it. Um, and her mother, to this day, I probably regret being with her the most because she needed me more than the others. The other girls were good girls. She was a good girl, but she was a good girl that was trouble. So we would literally, if I knew what I know now about her, I would have never slept with her. Brooklyn would never be here. Because it was so she was going through such a trying time at home
Mhm.
that if I'd have known the trouble she was going through at home, and when I finally did find out, we had I was still home. I still wasn't trying to be with one person. And I broke her heart. And so, when you
How old were you when the first movie?
18, my daughter's 25 now. My first child was 18. I was 18 years old. Had quit everything. Was hustling. And then 8 years later, Brooklyn's 8. Brooklyn's 8. So I'm giving y'all all my little business that y'all normally wouldn't
That what
get.
you here for?
Yeah. Um,
Professions, good for
Brooklyn is 8. I'm already a 2-time felon. I'm already getting in a bunch of trouble.
So, felon in terms of what we talking about? Theft. What are we talking about?
Let's just say felon.
Okay.
Let's just say felon. Giving people the testimony. They don't need to hear everything.
This is true. This is true.
I'm already a 2-time felon. Um, she's 8, and
Parents.
my parents are still in my life. My parents are they're great parents for what they knew. You know how some people they're mad at their parents and you didn't do me like this, and there was a time when I was there. But as I've gotten older, they were the best parents for what they knew.
What they
Right. So my daughter's 8, and I'm suicidal. When I say I'm suicidal, I'm driving my girlfriend's my other baby mama car. Matter of fact, I'm driving my other baby mama car, and I'm flying down college. Pew! And I say, God, if you don't help me, it's over. So I'm done. I'm through. I'm finished. Flying down Collins. I get past Collins and Mitchell. And I hear it, woo, because I'm heading back to the recreation center. Because I went to get food for everybody. I'm heading back to the recreation center. I'm flying. Cop woo, pulls me over. He say, bro, do you know how fast you were going? I said, I was doing about 50. He said, you were doing 95. I was doing 95 on Collins. But I was doing 95 because I was ramming up to just run into something or somebody. Like I wanted to end it. And I just kept telling God, if you don't save me, I'm through. People always say, if you don't got no warrants, I'm going to give you a ticket. You got to walk back. Everything will woo. Somebody come get the car. He said, if you don't got no warrants or nothing, I'll let you go. I had a warrant. And they take me to Arlington jail. I'm through. Like I'm done. I'm like, this is the help. Like I'm mad because I asked for help,
And this is what he
but
brought
the
you.
help didn't come like I asked for it.
What kind of help were you looking for?
Well, I wasn't trying to go to jail.
I mean, of course not. I mean,
and
Jonah
so
wasn't trying to get swallowed by the fish.
I had to learn. I had to learn one valuable lesson I learned out of when God does something. God will help you, but He's never going to help you like you think.
That's right.
Never ever have I seen somebody say God gonna do it like this, and God will show up and do it totally different. I've never seen him do it like you say He's gonna do it. So I go to jail. I have a moment. I have a moment in my bunk. I'm crying. I have a moment in my bunk, and then I get this. I get a Bible. They give me a Bible, but I actually got to keep my Bible going to Tarrant County. And at the time, you can take, like, they would put that stuff in lockup, but they let me take my Bible into Tarrant County and up the stairs. They had let no one else take their Bible. I took my Bible and I was reading it daily. I'm talking about when I say I read it front to back, knew my word, I knew my scriptures. And the word, being hidden in my heart and all that good stuff. So I'm looking at it and I'm reading it. I'm in the county jail. They're doing prayer call every night. I don't go to no prayer calls. So finally, the last week I'm there, I decided to go to prayer call. And the guy was like, "Can you teach us what you've learned in that book?" Cool. I'm teaching Bible study now. Last week there. So they finally called me to go to state jail, to Hutchinson. And this was off a theft charge. I had enough charges that they finally sent me. They said, "You doing too much. We're going to send you to Hutchinson State Jail. And you got 6 months." That's all I had was 6 months. So I got 6 months. And so we go to Hutchinson State Jail. I have the same pink Bible. It's a pink Bible at that. But hey, you choose when you're in jail, you take what they give you.
What they give you.
So I'm in jail. I put the Bible up under in my crate. Like you can't even see it. This dude is sitting up top. He says, "Hey, can you teach me what's in that word in your Bible, in your crate?" I'm like, this dude. They make me see like I'm mad because they're literally like I'm trying to hide. And I've always been a leader. I'm a basketball coach, comedian. I've always been a leader. I've always been a leader. So in jail, I'm not trying to be a leader. I'm not trying to be known. First of all, I'm too light skinned to be known in jail. Y'all didn't think y'all wasn't gonna get some of these jokes. I'm too light skinned to be cracking jokes in jail. So I'm in jail, and there's a guy that comes every night, like at like the 11 to 7.
Mhm.
He comes and cleans up the cells, but he also does a Bible study. So he's doing Bible study, but he's teaching them David and Delilah. And I'm like, that don't fit. Because it's Samson and Delilah, but you teaching them David. So
David and Delilah.
right. So the one guy was like, well,
Look at that.
he came right. He came back, and the guy was like, "Hey, can you teach Bible study to us?" I teach us the first night, and some people pray with us. They crack up laughing. By the time I left Hutchinson State Jail, at the time it was 53 men in the room. And when I first started teaching, wasn't nobody really coming. I only had like a month. But by the time I left, they're literally every man in the cell is up for prayer call every night because we're seeing miracle signs and wonders. A man literally, we prayed with him. He had cancer and AIDS. Went to the doctor the next day. He didn't have cancer or AIDS. So we're seeing miracles. I told the dude, I said, you coming up off that bed. He was so sick to the point he couldn't even get his breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They were taking his breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He literally lost 20, 30 pounds. By the time we left, he was up playing around, having fun, and he had a report that God had did it. God had did it.
So you're in jail. All these things are happening.
Mhm.
You're teaching.
Mhm.
What's going on the inside of you? Are you? Although, like you said in the beginning, we do things without dealing with our own selves.
Mhm.
So while you were going through this process, were you dealing with you, or was
Partially.
okay?
Partially I was dealing with me, and partially I was kind of, I'm okay, I'm good.
Because I'm teaching now.
Right. Well, because I'm thrust into leadership. Now, look, I didn't ask for this leadership,
Right.
but I'm thrust into it. So I don't have a chance to kind of really stop and work on me
Mhm.
because once you show people that God is real in their life, they want that real presence.
Right.
So I don't always have the time. Like, even though I had 24 hours in a day, sitting in jail, I didn't have time a whole lot to really deal with me. I tried, but I failed because I was too busy trying to learn how to be a leader for people who didn't want to be led. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like we dealing with, because in jail you deal with the gays, the lesbians, gays, the gangs, the Aryan Nation, and all of them were in the same room. How do you get peace in a room full of turmoil? We talking about Bloods and Crips.
Right.
So, but we have peace in the room, in the dorm. We didn't have those problems. The whole time I was there, we didn't have those problems because we were praying for peace. We were trying to pray that God would do something great. And so, and we did, and God did what He said He was going to do. He said, because I always, when I went, I said, when I realized I was going to Hutchins, I was like, Lord, just take care of me. Just let me make it out alive.
No, that's right.
Because I had only been to county before. I had never been off property. I'd only been to county. So going to jail, like, where they give you a number, you like literally have a number. You have a number in county, but when you go to prison and those things, you're getting like real prison. Like we can buy a whole loaf of bread and put it in our bunk, but different stuff like that. But so I'm learning a lot. I'm learning how to be a leader. And I believe the biggest mistake I ever made, I've been saved 20 years. March was 20 years. The biggest mistake I've made in my 20 years of being saved is accepting leadership when I wasn't ready.
That'll preach.
I accepted leadership a lot of times when I wasn't ready because it's hard for me not to lead. It's hard for me not to lead. It's hard for me not to be in leadership. And even when I don't want to be in leadership, it's hard for me not to be in leadership. My biggest regret was not dealing with my issues early on. Because my issues came back to haunt me later on.
Right.
They came back, because like people like, and I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna sit in front. I was sleeping with chicks,
Even while you were in leadership.
Yeah, talking about we gonna pray, and it into a touching session. We was praying, but I was PREYING. I was praying.
Like Leon
First of all, because I didn't deal with the old me as much as I should have, because the old me pimping and being a player and stuff like that, it carried over. So I'm doing things that are natural to me, but not natural to me. They're natural to who I was and my character at the time, but they weren't natural to me, and they spilled over to the church.
Right.
So even though I had the best of intentions, I had the worst of me showed up. So let's fast forward.
Get out of prison.
Yeah, get out. Well, we're gonna fast forward way past that.
Okay.
So I'm starting to get. I'm doing coaching. I'm doing comedy. People are starting to notice it. I'm running DFWIRadio.com. Well, not DFWI Radio. I'm running DFWI Gospel. We're putting it to the point where we're making some headway in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now that was 2017. The biggest mistake I did in running DFWIGospel.com is accepting the role of running DFWIGospel.com.
Too early.
Too early. At all. Because the night that T really told me it's gonna happen, I had prayed to the Lord, and the Lord said, "Don't do it. I'm gonna bless it, but don't do it. I'm gonna bless it because you're there, but don't do it." So we were blessed. We had everybody from Darian Yancey to Pastor Daryl Blair and them doing shows. I'm talking about, we ain't talking about your average, just hey, pick you up off the street. We got real live folks that really do the gospel doing shows, Alabaster Box and Real Talk with the Blairs and different stuff like that. But God had kept telling me, I've got you. Move now. Move now while they're transitioning and let them deal with the rest. My biggest mistakes have always been because of my ego and sometimes you got to learn when to quit. If I'm with you, I'm all the way with you. I'm on the ship. So I didn't know, and I was comfortable. I was comfortable. We were starting to make some headway. People knew us, and that was probably my biggest mistake. And the reason why it was my biggest mistake, because in doing it, people saw my immaturity. They saw my business pettiness. They saw me being someone that they knew I had potential. Like everybody knew I could be great. They knew I could be a great leader, but they watched me fail effortlessly because I just wouldn't listen. I took certain stuff, but Why do I want to hear your opinion if you've never done this? See, we talking real talk. I can talk real talk with y'all. I can be honest. My biggest mistake, especially over there, and the reason I got jumped to here real quickly is because the damage that was done when I got fired. The damage that was done, some of that damage is irreparable. It's I can't repair it. I can't. And it's not even so much with the station because me and Raquel are cool. I'm talking about the people that I had relationships with. Because nobody knew why I got fired, but a few. And those that did know, some of them didn't tell the truth. So you've got the rumors as opposed to the truth. I'm being hush mouth. I don't know what they're saying. So when people ask me, it's a mutual agreement. Another lie. Instead of just saying I got fired. Because I had to save face. How do you get fired
On your day off.
on your day off? So it was a mutual agreement. So I said, I got fired. Got fired. At the end of the day, got fired. I don't care how mutual it was, I got fired. But if I'd have did what God said to do, I wouldn't have been in the position to be fired. I wouldn't have been in the position to be let go. Had I have done what God said do. God told me He told me in 2016 that in 2018 we were to start a internet TV station. Had a meeting. George Cleanscale was there. TK was there. Darian was there. Charisma was there. Lady A was there. I got nervous because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I got scared. Because I was like, they not gonna do this. They not gonna do a TV station. So let's go up to me starting a radio station in May. Y'all getting all the juice today. Y'all getting way more than most people get. So we start the station in May. And the problems behind the scenes have been so tough. And I know why it's been tough. Because so we started in May. We start the station. So right before we start the station, I turned the station on. The station is working. The station is working. So we do the first show. We're doing the show. So of course, while we're doing the show, I can't hear the station. I can't hear nothing that's going on. So I get texts and calls, bro. Some people saying they couldn't even find us. Then other people saying, I found you, but it's not playing the show. For the first 2 months of our station, there were people that couldn't hear our show and people that could, but everybody blamed me. I mean, but you ain't fix it. I do radio. I don't fix websites. So I'm paying people money. I'm losing money paying people to fix what I don't know how to fix.
Mhm.
And of course, that takes a toll on you because you want it to be successful. You fight it, you loot. Like I lost the place. And I lost the place because someone came and bought our whole spot up. They bought the whole spot up. I ain't scared to tell it. I tell it. They bought our spot up. Like they literally bought out the spot that we had for up to a year just so that we couldn't do it. Somebody doesn't want us to be on the air. Doesn't matter. Money talks. BS runs the marathon. Which one you gonna take? A year's worth?
It's a contract that I have to.
I would honor the contract.
Right.
That's integral. That's
That's what I'm supposed to.
So we're integral. Everybody's not integral. Even people you work with aren't integral. And I can't say I've always been integral. So some of this I'm getting because of my past practices, my past doings. Some of this is punishment. The Bible says, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sow, As Shelly also reap. I've done some terrible things that had nothing to do with radio. But because there has to be a consequence, there has to be a response to the stuff I've done. I'm getting it back. Some of it. Some of it I'm getting back because I laid the foundation for it. See what I'm saying? I didn't listen. So when you don't listen to God and then you finally decide to listen to God, there's gonna be some stuff that comes with it. And you gotta ride with it. You gotta ride with it. And I rode. I didn't want to ride, but I rode.
Dealing with all of these things,
Right.
anger. What led you to finally deal
Anger management.
with that part?
Anger management came at the best time of my life. Um, I can't really talk about why I got to anger management, but I can say it's the best thing that ever happened to me because anger management, I started to deal with me. No blame on anybody else. No pointing the fingers. No Rie did it. No Andre did it. It's strictly me. Strictly me. And when I go into anger management class, I go totally naked. Not naked in the physical sense. I'm back.
That'd be one heck of a class.
That'd be a heck of a class.
That'd be-
The class would definitely shut down. We shut the class
I
down.
wouldn't be there.
Get out, bro.
I ain't gonna make it.
Get out. First of all, I'm not going naked in front of a bunch of grown men. But needless to say, I got to be naked and no judgment. But the bad part about all of that is I can't do that at church. I can do it at my church. A lot of people can't do that at their church. They can't be honest about who they are. They can't be honest and be naked before the people or before anyone because we're so judgmental. We're always judging people because they're fighting things. And most people look at me and couldn't tell you that anger management was my problem. I need anger management because I smile through most things. But there was a class that we had, and they was talking about the eventuality of everything. Everything has an eventuality. I don't care how great you are. If you don't deal with your problems, eventually they will come back to deal with you. So we've been dealing with the problems. My son came to one anger management class. He got answers that he never thought he was going to get to questions I didn't even know he had. But I answered questions I didn't even know he had because he showed up at an anger management class. And I fought a lot. Like, I don't think people really, I pray a lot. I pray more than I would let you know that I pray because I care. Because I see people fighting things that they never thought they would see. I see people like daily. I talk to people and they're giving a good face for Facebook. They're putting up memes and being petty and whatnot on social media. But at the end of the day, they're ready to kill themselves. So at the end of the day, I'm talking to people that want to end their life, but they see a meme, they see a post that says, "Hey, I'm in anger management. If I'm in leadership and I can go to anger management, so can you. You can deal with your problem." Like, so a lot of people don't, and then some people they don't know how to deal with their problems because it's been such a big part of their character that they have no idea that it's a problem.
This is true.
See what I'm saying? They have no idea that it's a problem. So when they meet me, they be like, "Boy, you transparent." I'm transparent to an extent. Like, I can let you know what I want you to know.
Right.
But if you knew my heart, like my heart in the whole matter was, I wanted to die. I wanted to commit suicide back then because I felt like no one loved me. The only person that told me he loved me, the only person that was telling me they loved me, the only time people told me they loved me was when I did something wrong, when I screwed up. So what do you do when you want people to tell you that they love you?
You screw up.
Screw up. Our family isn't big on saying I love you like immediately. Like, we hug you, give you a kiss when we see you, hug and kiss you when you leave. All that extra, we don't do that. We don't do that, and it's just how we are. But I needed someone to tell me I love you. I'm here, and I'm not judging you because you have a past. And hey, I see you're losing so far. You look like you're losing, but I still see your victory. I still can see your victory, even though right now you look like you're losing. You know, um, I didn't have mentor. T was the first person that literally taught me how to do radio. I had been in radio. Let's see, I had been over there 3 years. Had been in radio. Been in radio almost 13 years. First time I got real teaching. Nothing against those who did work before. But the first time I got down to someone sitting down and saying, "Here's how we do radio." T was it. First time. I was learning, and that's why I say it's always been my biggest problem. Trying to learn on the fly and get this right as a leader. So nowadays, I'm quicker to tell you no to being a leader or something than I was back then because I understand that because I was hurt, because I was raped, because I was molested, because I was in depression, because of me, that I bled on a lot of people. I bled on a lot of people, like bled on them. A lot of people are out there hurt because of me. Hurt. I had great intentions, but because I was hurt and refused to deal with my hurt, I hurt them, and now some of them are astray. Some of them, only God can come down from heaven and say, "Hey, I need you to," because I hurt a lot of people because I was trying to be a leader when I should have been a follower. I should have learned how to follow. I should have learned how to say no. That's why nowadays I tell people no. People be mad at me. They be like, no, like, had a mega church call me. And they called me and I had already talked to like two of the other performers. They called me and they were like, well, we want to give you this much. We want you to come. And I was like, no. Why? Everybody else you're paying way more. You weren't even gonna get that high from me at all anyway. But you're not gonna, you're not gonna just be. It's great networking. It's great for you. No, it's not. The only thing that's great for me is if I do what God said do. Because coming to your church doesn't guarantee me anything. It just guarantees whoever's there sees me. Whoever's watching on TV sees me. And so I told them no recently because I'm not a hireling. I'm not a hireling. But I also got bills. These bills don't pay the. I have yet to go to the light company and say he paid it all, and they say you sure right. Go ahead, you good. So it's been different this last year. This year 2019 has been the best year of my life because 2019 I've gotten to know me better than anyone. I've got to learn the real me. I've got to learn the me that has had enough. I got to learn the me that says, if you walk away, like, and let's talk about that real quick. I'm not mean. People say this is mean when I say, if you walk away, stay away. What's your reason? Well, I walked away for this reason or that reason. Or let me say it like this. You walk away with no explanation, stay away. I've been like that this year because I wouldn't walk out of your life and not say nothing. I wouldn't devastate you like that. Especially if you, yeah. I'll tell you, hey, look, I just don't want food with you no more. You know what I'm saying? People have walked away and I have no idea why. And some of them will come back and act like they ain't nothing happened.
What's up? No talk.
No explanation, no nothing. And what's even crazy is they'll want you to accept them back and be cool. And I said this to one person that called and said they wanted to come back. This one person that came back and they said, well, Husky, I want to, man, I'm sorry. I said, can I be honest with you? I said, bro, you can hold your sorry. I'm not looking for your sorry. I'm not looking for your apology. I don't want you in my life. Without you in my life, I realize that the only one I can depend on always is God. is God.
And there it is.
Is God. No one else. And it's nothing against those who fight the power with me, who are with me on. There's no one that I can always count on like God.
That's the truth.
There's no one I'm dependent on like God. People be like, I'm good, I got it. I'm not begging. Not begging. I'm just not pleading. The only thing I'm pleading is the blood.
I plead, I plead.
Only thing I'm pleading is the blood. Only thing that I want to say to the people is stop letting people hold you hostage. With either support, they walk away, whatever. Stop letting people hold you hostage. And even people that don't agree with you, okay, it's okay not to agree with us, with me or you. Don't let them hold you hostage because they don't agree with you. Tell them I'm faulty. It takes a real person to love you when they see you messing up. But it takes an even realer person to say, I'm going to help you get through this mess up. Stick to people like that. The ones that stick with you, they know you messing up. They know you foul right now. But they help to clean you up so that you have that sweet spirit with God. That's what I loved about my grandma. She didn't like everything we did, but grandma helped clean us up. She prayed for us to get right. And she didn't live to see all of us get right. But that didn't stop the prayer. That didn't stop her loving us and putting the love into us. Us Christian now, we quit at the drop of a dime. I mean, you doing too much. You won't even say something to the person. Just quit. So now, I be like, I'm good. Stay gone. Stay gone.
Real.
That part. Stay gone.
Yeah, we appreciate Mr. Husky for this week. You got prayers out real quick.
Prayers out real quick.
Real quick.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together. We thank you that everyone's watching. Lord, I ask that you add a double blessing, a double portion to the blessings that they need. Father, I ask that you let them not commit suicide, spiritual or natural.
Yes.
Allow them time to deal with them.
Yes.
Lord, let the words of our mouth, the meditation of our heart be acceptable unto you, O Lord, our strength and our redeemer. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Yes, amen. Thank you so much for being on the well this week.
Thank you. He's behind the boards. And
You, I ain't even, yeah.
He on the other side.
On the other side tonight. So,
but we were super grateful that you came on this week, and thank you again for everything.
Yes.
Allowing us to be on Last Remnant.
TV.
That part. Last Remnant TV. I love it.
So we're going to see y'all next week, okay?
We're going to see y'all next
Y'all
week.
better be on next week.
We'll be here.
I was on the way, though.
See y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.
Peace. Thank everybody.